All right, everyone, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Wednesday, November 6, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give it a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Again, awesome gains here today. Catching that move in the Russell 2000, that's twice this year in the trading room. Amazing gains on RTY futures. Just incredible. To be fair, we got to talk about the losers too. So I did take an L on some of the marijuana stocks. It is what it is there. But a little surprised here in Florida that they didn't pass that vote. There's a lot of, there's dispensaries everywhere, and it is pretty much legal here for the most part in some capacities. But again, that's where managing position size comes in handy here, and a pretty big slice here on all of these. Look at all of the, and TCN and F gapping down. That did come off the lows here, but all of the Florida names here taking a big hit. And even on the, obviously on the Canadian side here, SNDL, if I can type it in right, still in relatively decent shape, but obviously a big outside move there. But anyways, awesome gains here in a lot of names, RTY one of them. And we also had, and I did a video on this earlier, UNH, massive runner. I've been holding for weeks on this in the trading room. $68 gain on a scalp trade. So leave runners on your positions. Very important. Anyway, what happened here? So remember a week ago when I said that there was a lot of puts assigned at 570. So, some people, gave me some pushback here when I said, like, I don't really see this as being too bearish here. Yeah, they used the futures market, right? ES, commercials specifically, meaning banks, use the futures here. And you can see that uptick in volume, and we pinned to 570 for 4 days. It's not a coincidence. They were getting assigned shares there, and you can see here this move. Absolutely massive. Now, I think there's some pushback here as well. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people claim that we're going to close red for the week. This is not a tape to fight here. ES, all-time highs. NQ, well, QQQ, all-time high. IWM, all-time high. Dow, all-time high. Bitcoin, all-time high. There's liquidity everywhere here. This is not something you want to fight currently. Now, is there a crash coming? Possibly. I think it's to the upside, though. And, we kind of floated this idea. We talked about it Monday, me and CMD. I've kind of mentioned it here and there. Members know I've been talking about this for a while. But I still think, right now, 6,100, kind of by end of the year is where I think we're going. And that could look like a crack up, too. So I think that's where the risk is here right now. I still haven't seen bear capitulation. And at that point, if we did get those boxes checked, I would start to get very cautious going into the end of the year for like a more traditional type of crash or volatility event. But right now, powerhouse, don't fight this. Like this is the strongest tape. Everything's at all-time highs. This is an impulsive move, right? That's an impulsive move. We've been talking about this for a while. Ascending triangle, picture perfect on the Russell. You've consolidated. It's not like we're going into a double top, like this is consolidated here for months. It's consolidated that big small cap move. By the way, I'm sure everybody's going to apologize to Tom Lee now. Not really, but there we are. RTY. Look at this. Look at the Dow. The Dow doesn't move like that. 3.64% on the YM. Amazing moves here. And awesome gains. Really across the board to be had. But being able to read that put assignment, this is the stuff that we do here. So again, paying off years worth of service overnight, essentially. But spiders here, 590. That should try to build a base here. Now we got the FOMC tomorrow. Powell's not going to do anything. He's going to cut, and I think he's just going to be quiet for the most part. So I don't think he's really going to, crap on the rally. Could he, could the markets get a steep retrace? Absolutely. In fact, I totally expect one. It is a little crazy that you have the 2-year yield, the Fed funds will probably go down to about here. which it's right there right now. So it's kind of not a lot of room. He'll have to jawbone the 2 down tomorrow. And I'm sure that he will. Now, there will be steep retraces, right? But I think they're just retraces here. We lose 580 on a weekly close, then we can talk about a failed breakout. But I don't think that's the case here. And by the way, speaking of yields, that's kind of like the grasping at straws point I've seen over the last night. Like, well, yields are up, so stocks have it wrong. No, you have it wrong, right? Don't fight. If you get it wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. We all make. I just took a hit on all these marijuana stocks, right? But I'm not fighting it anymore, right? So don't try to argue with the market. The yield curve steepening. Maybe it's because of growth, right? Maybe the market's like, hey, things are going to get normal again. Trump's, going to fix the economy. Oil is negative today. It was down a lot more, but it's negative right now. So with yields up and oil red, it's not like people are looking for a huge inflationary push here. Could just be a move to normalization. So again, that's where I'm at here. Right now, what do we got here? 59.25 is a little bit of interest until the end of the day, and then 590 SPY. Again, we're not going to make too much out of it here. We can look for retraces. This market will need to base. This market absolutely will need to base. Look at this moonshot here. So this is the type of thing that does need to consolidate. Looks a little tired up here, but I'm not betting against this move. And if you caught it, congratulations. Just keep leaving runners. So that's all I'm doing here. Keep leaving runners on everything that we got. If you didn't, don't chase. And if you didn't, don't short. I did a video on this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. That's an impulsive gap. Get out of the way. So anyway, everything's at all-time highs. Dow, 440, we'll say. IWM, what's the previous high? 240, I think. 245. So it should go up there and try to test that. Triple Qs here. So take a look here. So we could go back into this. This might be a little bit of resistance here for the Qs. Why are the Qs down? Why are the Qs up less? There's a lot less commercial shorts in the Qs. So that's what I've seen from the data. And that's probably why at least the Qs are up less. Still a breakout here. Maybe it pauses tomorrow based on that trend line, but again, I'm not fighting it. Yeah. SPY 595 maybe next level. I can't remember. I saw something. I saw a GEX level there early. It doesn't matter now. It's not important. SMH here again, laggard, right? What's not lagging? No, you guys already know. You guys already know what's not lagging. Oh, that's right. Aaron's favorite IGV, 3.77%. We'll just give this the upside bias to 100. Again, you do have the AI names though. NVIDIA, Broadcom, and TSM's down today, but NVIDIA, Broadcom up, leading the market nicely. Micron's got a good pop here today. Qualcomm, AMAT, not so much. KLA. So again, look, semi's kind of mixed here. KLA, and if all things are equal, I'd say that's a bear flag. You could make a case that it actually damn well is. So not everything's perfect. In semi, look at ASML, new lows. A little oversold though. That might be ready to bounce here, but either way, IGV's powerhouse. When's the recession coming? Been talking about this pattern all year long, and I told you this would be a massively hated rally when this broke out, not if, when. And there you go. So transport's going to all-time highs here. This is effectively an all-time high. The only reason this happened was because of that stupid debacle with Carr in October 2021. But IYT, that's a new all-time high, if you follow that. Rates we already talked about. Well, let's go back to rates because just to review, this is kind of my max move for the twos right now. You can see the 200 MA and that level right there. So 440 area. Fives, we'll say about 440, 445. Tens, I said 450 originally. we kind of got there. Maybe it could overshoot a little bit. And then the 30, 4.7 to 4.75 on overshoot. Again, these patterns never were bearish. Everybody kept trying to call the reversal in yields. And it was like, this is still a bull inside bar on the 30-year. The 10-year is arguably on breakout, and now it is too. So don't fight them yet. If we get a reversal signal, I'll tell you, but I don't see it yet. I still see a lot of people trying to fight yields. And they can talk the 2s down, and the 10s can still stay firm. So just so you know. So if you're thinking about buying TLT, the 2-year might come down, but the 30s could just stay firm. So keep that in mind. XHB did gap down. Again, yields probably putting some pressure here, but it did come way off the lows. And it's actually rallying up right now as we speak. So it's okay. It's okay for now as long as it's above that 111 area. VNQ again down as well, but nice test of the lower end of the channel. 100 MA kiss. If this consolidates a little bit more, I think it could try to catch up. But certain sectors are sensitive right now, right? They're trying to digest what's going on here with the Trump win. Tesla, of course, getting a big move here. That's going to 300. Yeah, TAN down, although I do like the tail candle there. I may have picked some up here. But, yeah, a lot of digestion. XLF, 6% gain. I'm just going to say there's a whole round number at 50. It's probably where it wants it in the near term. KRE, when recession, 13%. Now, you are coming into a lot of pivots here, right? This is where it broke down in 2022. It couldn't get through this level, so it may be a little short-term stretched here, but amazing move here. KBE up 12. Just wait till you guys see the broker dealers. That's a new high for KBE, isn't it? Yeah, that's a new all-time high. Yeah, broker dealers, 8% gain, just blowing through 800 here. This is monthly parabolic though. So this is now on borrowed time here. That does not mean it's a short, but that is now monthly parabolic. And probably weekly too. Yeah, it's getting there now. Oil flat here, but it did come really nicely off the lows. I don't see any issues with the oil chart. I think oil's okay if it can consolidate. I think it can have another push up. XLE rotation. We talked about this. I talked about this for the last month. I said around the election it'll bottom, and that's where you're going to get good rotation into energy. XLE up 4.4. Trying to trigger an inverse head and shoulder here. XOP trying to trigger an inverse head and shoulder up 6%. OIH triggering an inverse head and shoulder up 10% here into the 200. Beautiful move. Love energy here. Remember that gap and crap in Exxon last week that everybody was freaking out about? There it goes. Just a little liquidity grab, nothing else. CCJ, that did gap and crap here. This is still okay. It's off the highs, doing some backing and filling. I prefer to see it stay above 50 and really like 48. So uranium's been kind of weak ever since that big thrust. I think just too many bulls in the space right now. NJ not doing that good either. Nat gas, who cares? Dollar index. Big move up here into these trend lines. We'll see what this does tomorrow. Because you could argue that maybe it's got maybe this was a top, so maybe I have to adjust this trend line down, a little bit. But we'll just leave it there. We'll just leave them there for now. And then we'll see what it does by the end of the week. But obviously a big move in the dollar. Either way, upside's probably limited here for now. To 105.50. Gold looks like it's topped out for now. Big volume. This is distribution volume down 2.85. It could get a bounce here at the 50 MA, but I think you're going to be looking at some backing and filling finally. A good level support here on the daily, right around 25.50, I would say. And then a big retest here, 24.50 to 24.70. Right, that was your big weekly base right after we broke out. So those are retrace levels here. I'm not saying it can't bounce tomorrow off the FOMC. Powell says something, but that looks like some distribution. GDX holding the 100 MA, but down 4%. It's actually not terrible considering how much gold is down. SIL down 3 and SILJ down 2.7. Again, not terrible considering how much gold and silver are down. And you're holding the 100 MA there. What I don't like with silver, though, is I don't like it below that 32 handle. I'd like to see it stay above that on a weekly close. At the very least, above this green bar low here, so 31, we'll say. Platinum and palladium still doing backing and filling. We talked about that. Down 1% here on platinum. Palladium down 3.6. This has got to do weekly tightening up. Copper, what a fake out. So we talked about volatility is coming, and we did close above 445. Couldn't get above 450. What an outside move. So big sell there. And you're going to need to see this reclaim 425 here. Otherwise, you're probably looking at 410 or so in the near term. Copper getting wrecked here. Bitcoin, new all-time high. Department of Government Efficiency, Dogecoin up 15%. It is off the highs, though. This pattern's actually pretty good. So that's not bad there. See, I know I liked Solana too. Yeah, 12% gain for Solana. That's starting to curl up as well. So this, crypto, obviously the big winner here today, or one of the big winners. ETH getting a bit. Just don't really love the pattern here. But Bitcoin, we've been talking about this pattern. If it does consolidation and the monthly 20 MA catches up, I talked about this since April, it'll blast off, and that's exactly how it's played out. Beautiful weekly pattern. You can't make it any better than that. So next level, I think, is like 80 that I have penciled in. That's not a short. That's just a calculation. Anyway, yeah, market's at all-time highs. I kind of on watch here for an actual melt up. Yeah, don't fight this. I wouldn't. Don't chase it. What you can do is look for things that haven't run, that have quality patterns, or that are in good dips, and you can play it that way, or wait for consolidation or dips, and then you can do things like that. But outside of that, just keep trailing runners. If you've been long with me, it's paying really nicely. So, anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here again. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. You guys take care. See you guys all for FOMC tomorrow.